Hello and welcome to Ultra Instinct Tarot. My name is Andres, and this is a special pick pile reading. As the focus for this reading is the Office Oracle deck, which I created myself, and I'm very proud of it. And I wanted to showcase it here for this pick a pile reading. So I will flip over the top card of each pile, and that'll be most likely the main focus of the reading for that pile. Or, if you like the artwork, go ahead, pick that pile. I will read what the card is about, and so we'll go ahead and get started with pile one. Pile one, ooh, something that's probably happening to a lot of people, is number 33, which is this is the Tower card, basically, for this deck. This is the Tower of Mistakes. If you remember in the episode, they're doing all of the things that they did bad or customer complaints. They've been writing them on cards, and so Plop has been making a tower out of them, and then Kevin accidentally, destroys the tower and makes the tower fall down. But they reconstruct it even better than before, and look at that. Everything's okay because they reconstruct this tower. So this is just a mistake. That's what this tower is all about, mistakes. If you're afraid of screwing up, then this tower isn't for you. Plop. The Tower of Mistakes. Don't be afraid of screwing up, and if you have already made a mistake, just forgive yourself and move on. Rise up like the phoenix from the ashes. For pile 2, we have number 27. This is when D'Angelo Vickers' character is manager at the moment after Michael left, and big changes fast. So coasting time is officially over. Big changes are coming, and they're coming at you fast. If you don't like them, this is called a door, and you can walk right through it. These sound like good ideas. Why wouldn't we like them, says Oscar. And good changes are coming, and they're coming at you fast. That is what that pile 2 is about. Ho, 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 ho. Okay. Those of you who know can probably tell what this card is about. This is number 11. Did I Stutter? Stanley Hudson. The universe. This is the universe quoting Stanley Hudson saying, "Did I stutter?" And pile number 4. We have card number 40, so that's kind of cool. Some 4. But this is the last card of the deck. This is the good old days. I wish there was a way to know you're in the good old days before you've actually left them. Nardoc. Take a pause, look around, enjoy the moment, look at everything around you. Take that pause and just take it all in. Enjoy the good old days while you're still in them, because next thing you know, the good old days will be long gone. But thanks to Andy, we know the good old days are here, so enjoy every single second of them with everything that you have. The good old days. Alrighty, so if you would like to remember the goal, stay tuned. If not, I will see you in your reading.
You two are still thinking before you move rather than just moving. This overthinking is limiting your fighting speed. Messages can only travel through your nervous system so fast. When you rely on thoughts for physical action, you lose precious fighting time. Your end goal should be to master the ability to have each part of your body think and move independently of the other parts.
Hello, if you chose pile 1, the Tower of Mistakes card, this is your reading. Welcome. I'll go ahead and start shuffling here. Alright, so should we talk about this Tower of Mistakes card? The Tower. So, how was I going to do this? Okay. I need to get a little more organized here, because I'm going to grab these and we're going to clarify each card with one of the Office Oracle decks. Alright, so the way I like to look at these cards is the OSHO Zen Tarot is like the neutral view of these cards, because they're all the same cards really. This one is the more feminine perspective of the tarot. And for me, this Thoth Tarot card is a more male perspective of the tarot cards. I think I accidentally made some of these upside down, but that is okay. This is the Tower of Mistakes pile. Not the mistakes are bad. We turn negatives into positives in this channel. So the way I like to think of not only this Tower card, but the Tower card in general in tarot, the Major Arcana Tarot. The Tower is the way Uncle Iroh puts it in Avatar: The Last Airbender. It's when he is about to get mugged by this guy who has this really poor stance and clearly doesn't know how to fight. And so Iroh shows him, hey, you can't really fight with that stance, look. And then he knocks him down easily, right? But he picks him back up, and then he shows him, hey, this is a better stance. That way you can't be taken down as easily, And then this time he tries to push him, and you can tell he's more sturdier, he's stronger, he can last a little more in a fight. So that is all Tower cards are getting rid of these ideas that we have that just don't work anymore, and replacing them with new patterns, new ideas, a new foundation, so that our house doesn't fall down as easily next time, and we rise up from the ashes, just like Pop. So yeah, this is the Office Oracle deck. All of these are of different scenes in the Office that I gave a meaning to, and let's just go ahead and get started with your reading with Rebirth. Yeah, see, this is going along with the Tower of Mistakes card very well. So this is the 10 of Clouds, the 10 of the Mind, the 10 of Swords. We are all the way at the bottom of the Tree of Life. And right here, us. This is the end of the cycle of the Swords. Rebirth. So the swords are about logic, are about, letting your mind and your thoughts dictate the way your body moves and your feelings. Or if you just see them as useful information that can lead you to who you are and what you need. Rebirth. like a phoenix. This card depicts the evolution of consciousness as it is described by Friedrich Nietzsche in his book, Thus Spake Zarathustra. I don't know what that is. He speaks of the 3 levels of camel, lion, and child. The camel is sleepy, dull, self-satisfied. He lives in delusion, thinking he's a mountain peak, but really he is so concerned with others' opinions that he hardly has any energy of his own. Emerging from the camel is the lion. When we realize we've been missing life, we start saying no to the demands of others. We move out of the crowd alone and proud, roaring our truth. But this is not the end. Finally, the child emerges, neither acquiescent nor rebellious, but innocent and spontaneous, and true to his own being. Whatever space you're in right now, sleepy and depressed or roaring and rebellious, be aware that it will evolve into something new if you allow it. It is a time of growth and change. And, sometimes we don't even, it's going to happen even if we allow it or if we don't. So the best thing we can do is just to rebuild it, instead of being, oh no. But yeah, there's a time of change, of a new way of being. Yes. The child one sounds fun. Neither acquiescent, I don't know what that word is either. Neither acquiescent nor rebellious. So neither like the camel nor the lion, but innocent and spontaneous and true to his own being. I like that. In Zen, you are coming from nowhere and you are going to nowhere. You are just now here, neither coming nor going. Everything passes by you. Your consciousness reflects it, but it does not get identified. When the lion roars in front of a mirror, do you think the mirror roars? Or when the lion is gone and a child comes dancing, the mirror completely forgets about the lion and starts dancing with the child. You think the mirror dances with the child? The mirror does nothing. It simply reflects. Your consciousness is only a mirror. Neither do you come nor do you go. Things come and go. You become young, you become old. You are alive, you are dead. All these states are simply reflections in an eternal pool of consciousness. So it's like, imagine the death of a camel, so that the lion can spring up, and the death of the lion so that the child can emerge. Or we can see it as the way they talked about it from the beginning. It's like a movement. You go from one camel, then you learn the ways of the lion, and then you learn the ways of the child. Child emerges. I like how it uses the word emerges. Interesting. Okay, this is very cool. Number 2. This is the deception card. But it doesn't mean something bad, it just means something is hidden. And things do not seem the way that they seem. Yeah, see, like for this camel, things didn't seem the way that they seemed. It was better to be like this lion until you figured out, well, things aren't the way that they seemed. And then learn the next one. More information is needed. Pause before making decisions. Keep an eye out as information is about to appear. Interesting. We're talking about rebirth. This rebirth is about to appear. So it's okay if there is a moment of pause, a moment of silence, a moment of rest. I think that's what this is wanting and asking for. It's a moment of rest while this rebirth is happening. It's better if you go along with it than to fight it. It's better to go along with it or to fight it. It is, yeah. And then you are the one. 2 and 2 are right next to each other. Okay. Look at how it's waving. So maybe you go back and forth on, hey, this thing that is happening, it seems pretty cool. And then you go, oh no, this is literally the worst thing that is happening. And I do not want to be here. I understand that feeling for sure. I mean, and it can go from the morning to the afternoon, or it's as simple as maybe, staying inside all the time and then maybe just taking a little bit of break from the inside and you go outside. You're like, whoa, I can do it. Yeah, the sun. Here, look at that. Better to be in the dark inside here or in the outside here. The Two of Pentacles. So the Two is above the abyss. We are in the Neptune sphere, the Chakra, and the wisdom, where the wisdom is learned from the Pentacles. The Pentacles are things you can see, the material stuff, substance, not just money, but substance. Anything really physical that's enduring, persistency. Those are the ways of the Pentacles. And we are in the Two of Pentacles. So there's the rebirth. And I think we were just talking about making it being one way or the other. But we are deciding, and if we change it, I mean, if we can make it go back and forth, what's wrong with just picking one? Why do we have to keep going to the one we don't want and don't like? That's just, why go here and then here, night and then day, and then, but inside, obviously outside night and day is kind of nice, and, that rest, oh, interesting, okay, so nighttime is for resting, daytime is for moving, so if this is a moment of rest, then rest, if it is a moment of sun, then move, and it goes back and forth, and that's okay to go back and forth that way. But we are in control of the way we see things. So if we see this tower moment as just this second one as, oh no, we can choose to do that one, or we can choose to be more like this one, which is, yeah. I'll still read what this book says about the Two of Pentacles, but I think that's pretty much what the Two of Pentacles wanted to say. All right, maintaining balance, cycling, energy flowing, resources. Resources come and go, and though pentacles keep being exchanged, the Fool always seems to have two. There's balance here. These exchanges create a dynamic but harmonic equilibrium. With her knowledge of value, she can create momentum and grow her pentacles. She may feel overstretched now, but she will be rewarded over time if she masters balancing this material energy. How do you manage your resources? What do you do when you have many commitments and responsibilities, but very little time and energy or finances? Life always seems to pull us in many directions. You can acknowledge all these pulls, but how can you prioritize? What do you value the most? Observe nature. We were just talking about being outside. She is the ultimate guide to dynamic balance. She constantly transforms energy and matter. No energy is wasted. And she also doesn't hesitate or, complain while it's happening. She trades sunlight for leaves, decaying carcasses for new life. Flowers give nectar to butterflies, while butterflies give the flowers the possibility for reproduction. Everything finds equilibrium. Balance and harmony come from making sure that your needs and the needs of someone else are both met. Your needs and the needs of someone else are both met. Your needs and through this we find a healthy exchange of giving and receiving, just like Joey says from Friends. And okay, interesting. Tick tock. It's now or never. Number 19. So is this talking about... What is this talking about? There was something hidden. So there's this balance of resting, because I did talk about resting, and it's now or never. There are moments where we can affect change. For a few seconds every decade, we exist. Tick. These are those seconds. Talk. Storm the castle. Tick. Come on. Talk. Tick tock. It's now or never. What say you? Interesting. It's probably just as simple as going from this to this, and then, enjoying this. That's literally all it's probably... This reading is saying. Oh, another 2. That's kind of cool. 2 of Swords again. And this is about peace. This is the equilibrium. What you want. It's now or never. Interesting. These 2 kind of balance out to that. All of this balances out to that. That's cool. Okay, the Thoth Tarot. 2 of Swords. We are again in the wisdom, so understanding of it. Oh no, understanding is over here. So this is the wisdom of the knowing the number 2. So you don't understand it yet, but this is the finding of it. Oh, the peace, huh? 2 of peace. 2 of Swords. The swords of the mind. So this is stuff that is because the fire can deal with other people, but the sword is all in our head. So that is just the way we see things. The sword's talking about our perception. Let me close this window because it's dark outside. So when it's dark outside, we go inside and we close up and we rest. 2 of Swords. This is the moon in Libra. Peace. Chakma. Number 2 of Swords plus moon in Libra equals peace. Alright, so Haristis has not strayed very far from the basic Golden Dawn model in this card. She has replaced the red rose with a deep blue-green blossom, which is for Libra. And she forms a stylized Greek cross using the geometric... Gotta make sure it's in view. And we'll move this a little back. Alright. And she forms a stylized Greek cross using the geometrical wings we first encountered on the Princess of Swords. These wings also festoon the backgrounds of the other cards of this suit. It's about wings. Astrologers tell us that people who are born with moon in Libra criticize and make judgments from a position of enviable equilibrium. They weigh every problem and proposition with the utmost fairness. This fortunate union of sign and planet finds a predictably dignified home in Chakma. The result is one of the few cards in the suit of swords that does not invoke groans when it appears in a tarot reading. That is not to say that it is all goodness and light. Interesting. More equilibrium. We have that's 2 cards that are talking about being equilibrium. This, this happens. So this is the other, the ripple. That is not to say that it is all goodness and light, like this tower, but it's fixing itself. It's an equilibrium that's happening. That's why this tower is happening. We must remember that the natural vocation of a sword is to fight, to cut, to pierce, to kill. It is an instrument of action, just like the mind, just like the ruach, the intellectual part of the soul. It is in constant movement. Eastern mystics tell us, interesting, just like this is always going back and forth. Eastern mystics tell us that the mind is the great enemy. If we are to achieve profound levels of consciousness, the mind must be overcome. Fearful that its existence and control will end, the mind resists these efforts at all costs. This is why so many cards in the suit of swords seem so frustrated, anxious, nervous, even tortured. In this case, the 2 of swords, peace, seems to have dodged a bullet. You must always remember, however, that for the sharp and dangerous sword, peace is just an uncharacteristic and temporary interruption from war. Tick tock. For only a few seconds. What did the number 19 say? What did Dwight say? There are moments where we can affect change. For a few seconds every decade we exist. These are those seconds. Interesting, because there's also the times where we don't rest, right? So while we're here, we might as well put this back up. 34. And this is the piece. This is how to do it. Words are powerful. This is because this is of the mind too. Something hidden. Okay. So this card is all about Jim and Pam's homework for marriage counseling. Words are very powerful, so watch the way you're talking. Speak more positively. Look for opportunities. Acknowledge and appreciate and speak your truth. Everything has a positive and a negative. More cards. That's cool. If things have seemed all negative lately, Tower, try a different perspective and see the positive of the situation while using positive words. Will help cancel you out and return to you back to neutral, which is this rebirth. Because from there, it's all you again. I like that. Yeah, I think that sums up things pretty well for you, pile one. That was actually, I don't even feel like, well, we'll check out one more card. Okay, this is something that is happening. Interesting. Surrender to this tower. Nice. Good thing I pulled it, because this is a perfect that wraps it up in a bow now, if I thought this was the present. Surrender. Pam at first struggled to let the lady know that they are not the van of Alleluia Scranton. This is the lady trying to get on. Right, so there was first a struggle. She tried to control and correct the situation with no success. After being tired of the events that are happening, she ceases to struggle and just lets the lady in the van. There's the old lady getting in the back of the van. So, yeah, stop fighting and let what is happening happen. Relax, let go. It's gonna take you somewhere new. Don't be scared, be relieved. Be relieved. Everything happens for a reason. No reaction is needed. Drop the controller, sit back, and enjoy this show. Enjoy this movement. Something is hidden that is going to pop up. Opportunities. It's an opportunity of a new way, of a new pattern, new structure, like Uncle Iroh told us. That's going to just be better. Alright, I enjoyed being here. I very much enjoyed this reading. This was a very pleasant reading. Yeah, thank you for being here, and I hope I'll see you next time. Hello and welcome. If you picked pile number 2, this will be your reading. Welcome. So your card is big changes are coming at you, and they are coming at you fast. And these are specifically good changes, because that is how it went in the show. D'Angelo might have said them in like a different tone. But they were all good changes, just like Oscar said. So even if the changes don't seem good at first, they are good changes, and they are coming at you fast. So I'm gonna pick one card from each deck, and then we are going to clarify them with a card from the Office Oracle deck. You know, this card talks about changes fast, but I didn't, I paused for a bit at the beginning of this reading, and I feel like pausing right now. I kind of feel like going fast. I feel like taking it easy, taking it chill, interesting, fighting. That's the complete opposite of how I want to feel right now and how I feel right now. So those are the changes that are coming from fighting, but then this is within yourself, because this is of a cloud. This is a sword card. This is a card that deals with the mind, and our mind is our own tool, not other people's tool. So this is a fight that we are having with ourselves. Yes. This is the Knight of Clouds. So again, I felt like I was trying to rush. And I was kind of fighting myself until I, consciously looked at myself, took a moment, took a pause, sat down. Now I don't feel like I'm fighting myself anymore. Everything seems pretty calm and peaceful. Definitely a huge difference from how I was at the beginning of the reading. I was kind of talking fast even now. Now I notice, now that I calmed down and slowed down a little bit. So are these the changes that are coming? Well, let's see what this deck says about the Knight of Clouds, the Knight of Swords, the Prince of Swords. One moment it was there, another moment it is gone. One moment we are here, and another moment we have gone. And for the simple moment, how much fuss we make, how much violence, ambition, struggle, conflict, anger, hatred, just for this small moment, just waiting for the train in a waiting room on a station, and creating so much fuss, fighting, hurting each other, trying to possess, trying to boss, trying to dominate. All that politics, and then the train comes and you are gone forever. And this is, remind you, for me, a neutral view of fighting. And this is, again, fighting by yourself. Ambition, struggle, violence, anger, hatred. These are all things you are creating. Like, sure, the people can affect it, but, and that's the point, that we let them affect it. And, well, when we start fighting with ourselves, it just doesn't stop. Trying to possess, trying to boss, trying to dominate. All that politics. The figure in this card is completely covered in armor. Only his glare of rage is visible, and the whites of the knuckles on his clenched fists. If you look closely at the armor, you can see it's covered with buttons ready to detonate, and if anybody so much as brushes up against them. In the background, we see this shadowy movie that plays in this man's mind. Two figures fighting for a castle. An explosive temper or a smoldering rage often masks a deep feeling of pain. We think that if we frighten people away, we can avoid being hurt even more. In fact, just the opposite is the case. By covering our wounds with armor, we are preventing them from being healed. By lashing out at others, we keep ourselves from getting the love and nourishment we need. This description seems to fit you. It's time to stop fighting. There's so much love available to you if you just let it in. Start by forgiving yourself. You are worth it. Oh, interesting. Look at that. You're even fighting me. You're fighting this reading. Where are we? Do I need to put my hands up? This is number 32. No. Look at that. You're fighting. No, I'm saying no. Interesting. I wanna see what keeps going. Change. Okay. This is the change apparently. Maybe that's all that needed to be said right there. No. Fighting happened right away. Big changes. Look at that. This is Wheel of Fortune. This is the things are changing card. The wheel will keep on moving. These things are a circle and they never stop. This is number 10, Major Arcana. Okay, I'm gonna unfold this one. Number 39. Okay, and then we'll talk about that one after we finish talking about the Wheel of Fortune. See, here's that pause again. You're probably like, move on with it and talk about this 39 card. No. Wheel of Fortune. Cycles, fate, fortune, luck, transience, unpredictability. So I will say in the Thoth Tarot, Crowley talks about this being the luck is changing card. So usually people go to get a tarot reading when their luck is bad, right? And need advice on what to do. So usually that means that luck is changing to good. But this also means the opposite. If luck is good right now, then it's changing. It will be bad for blit. For a bit. This is luck changing. Good luck turning into bad luck turning into good luck. And what do you want to do out of both? What would you do when you have the good luck? And what would you do when you have the bad luck? Knowing you will have both and you will eventually go to the next one. Again, Wheel of Fortune represents the inevitable. It is the wheel on which the fates spin the thread of everyone's stories. This card is a symbol for the unpredictability and transience of life. However, if we can stand at the center of the wheel, we may discover that there is stillness within the chaos. Here, we can find serenity and learn to appreciate the beauty of all things that are fleeting. That's probably why there was a long pause too before I got to the Wheel of Fortune. You're probably acting like my dog is acting right now. She just wants attention. And then I paused and she paused. And then I gave her attention again because she's my dog and I love her. So of course I want to give her attention. But then we paused. And then I give her pets again. That is the Wheel of Fortune. Do you feel life is out of your control? We are often at the mercy of cycles that we cannot understand or predict. There are larger forces at work and they sweep us up in their changes. These can be societal, cultural, environmental, economical, or natural. Think of a recession or a natural disaster. What forces do you feel at the mercy of? And apparently, this is talking about the mind, huh? Because you're the fighting yourself. Accept transience. Appreciate the good times when they last and weather the storms when they come, knowing that they will pass. Everything is transitory. Identify repeating patterns. What situations do you find yourself in again and again? Maybe a string of bad relationships or conflicts with authority figures. Knowing what themes are present in your life can help you see the same old story before it unfolds, and you find your center. Try to identify what makes you feel grounded regardless of where the wheel takes you. Where is home? And this says that it's right in front of you. I kept wanting to scream at Pam. It took me so long to do so many important things. It's just hard to accept that I spent so many years being less happy than I could have been. Jim was 5 feet from my desk and it took me 4 years to get to him. Be strong, trust yourself, love yourself. Conquer your fears, just go after what you want and act fast because life isn't that long. That is a quote from Pam, straight from The Office. Go after what you want. And this is the change. Why spend your energy fighting when you can spend your energy going after what you want? Disappointment. Oh, okay. There was a disappointment, huh? There was a disappointment, it looks like. Okay, that's funny. That's pretty cool. I will talk about this after we talk about this card. That's so funny. That's so funny. The number 5 of cups. 5 of cups is not funny. I'm sorry, I'm laughing. I'm sorry if you felt like hitting me right now. If you felt like fighting me right now. I really hope you could hear that. That was my dog drinking a lot of water. Life is coming at you fast. 5 of Cups, disappointment. Gebra, number 5. Of Cups, Bria. Plus, this is Mars in Scorpio. Equals disappointment. With this card, the Suit of Cups takes a dramatic and sinister turn. This is very disappointing because the 5 of Cups that had so much going for it. Discarding the configuration of the Golden Dawn model that displays 5 empty cups arranged as a square with 1 cup in the center. Crowley has Harris arrange her cups as an inverted pentagram, symbol in this place of the triumph of matter over spirit. What is it that turns this card sour? Mars rules Scorpio and is very happy to be there. Not only that, all this is in Gebra, the hometown, the sphere of Mars. So where's the problem? The problem stems from the fact that Mars is too happy to be here. He gets himself too excited to indulge in foreplay. This makes Scorpio nervous. He ends up prematurely blowing such a fiery blast upon the relationship that it retards what might have otherwise been the slow processes of passionate decay that Scorpio uses to devour and liberate her lovers. Who among us cannot understand this? Disappointment. Water no longer pours into the cups. The lotus blossoms have been completely blown away by the hot martial wind which has turned the sky red. The sea is now a stagnating pool. Now we can see where the earlier small cards in the suit were taking us. Love leads to abundance, which, if left uncontrolled, leads to luxury, which, if left uncontrolled, leads to decadence, boredom, frustration, and disappointment. So this thing that you wanted to go after brought a disappointment, it sounds like. Horrible cards. That was, horrible description for that card. But, my friend, he made it to the very end. It's a guten prank. It may seem like the universe is pranking you. It may seem like they are disappointments. But do not worry. It is a guten prank. A good prank. This is when they were doing his bachelor party, and Dwight was like, "Oh, you're gonna whack me, Jim?" And no, Jim is gonna have Dwight do the whacking. but he thought he was gonna get whacked. You know, not saying you have to do some whacking, but all this fighting, all this no, that was a disappointment from what you wanted. I mean, maybe there was something better. Maybe, I don't know what's gonna happen, but I know that it's gonna change, and it's gonna be good, and it's coming at you fast, right now, right here, right now. This is a fast reading. I'm gonna take one more card. Yep, you got this, and now I'm gonna take one more. Be perfect. I'm gonna go fast. So you deserve it. Look at that triumph. Michael has a triumph over the human body. Conquer that human body, make it move. Go on a run, dance, lift weights, do yoga, do flonkerton. Whatever, any body movement you enjoy. And when your body is yelling at you that it can't move anymore, make it move again. You keep going. Even through this disappointment. Michael was laying on the ground exhausted, but even when he couldn't keep going any longer, he got up and he still finished. Look at him. This relates to anything in our lives, not just exercise. Our human bodies are wondrous machines. There's always a little bit of fuel left in the tank. This is just keep going. Keep going. Keep chasing. No more fighting. Keep going. And number 26. 2. And your reading pile number 2. This was probably didn't go anywhere near to where you thought it would go. But goodbye stink? Yeah. Goodbye stink. Whatever we thought was a disappointment, said goodbye. But it's okay. It can be very hard, but also very necessary. Especially if there's... we'll get to it. Some things have got to end for new things to begin. Guten Tag. You know, what ended was him thinking he was going to get whacked. And the changing was that Dwight was going to be able to fire this bazooka. That was the change. Life would be very boring if you did the same thing over and over again for all of eternity. Change brings about new growth. This is why change is good, especially if Holly is waiting for you in Colorado, where your future children will also eventually be. Yeah, if there is someone else that's better. Why would it be? Why would a no be wrong? Why would we be disappointed in this no if there is something better? Like Holly, waiting for you in Colorado. There's an ending coming, and it's okay to feel sad. After you feel sad, start to getting excited for what's to come. Time to get excited for these changes, these good changes that are coming at you fast. Hello, pile 3. Well, that was clean. Alright, if you picked this beautiful Stanley looking card, Did I Stutter? Stanley Hudson, the universe. You all remember the episode, right? What I really like about this card is the homage that the universe does to Michael Scott from when Michael Scott quoted Wayne Gretzky saying, "You miss 100% of shots you don't take." And this is the universe quoting Stanley Hudson, saying, "Did I stutter?" I really like this card, number 11. That's a special number for a lot of people. And this is a special card. So what I'm doing is I picked a card from each deck. Each of my 3 homies that I use here. And we're going to clarify them each with a card from the Office Oracle deck. And then at the end, if he wants to give us any extra advice, then we listen and we let it. Alright, I feel like dancing. I've a cumbia stuck in my head right now. So we'll go ahead and get started. Yeah, flowering. Yeah, this is it. Yeah, this is a good feeling. Yes, the universe is saying, "Did I stutter? This is what you want." Alright, hopefully that's a little better. I barely changed anything. Flowering. This is the recognizing of yourself. Just like I said, I don't really need to change anything or change much. Just recognize the beauty. This is the Queen of Rainbows, the Queen of Pentacles, the Queen of the material. So of course, there's going to be beauty and grace involved. The Queen, this is the Mother of Pentacles. Ooh, green. The Queen of Rainbows is like a fantastic plant that has reached the apex of its flowering and its colors. She is very sexual, very alive, and full of possibilities. She snaps her fingers to the music of love. Interesting, I was just dancing. And her zodiac necklace is placed in a way that Venus lies over her heart. The sleeves of her garment contain an abundance of seeds, and as the wind blows, the seeds will be scattered to take root where they may. Interesting, that's actually how trees work. She is not concerned whether they land on the soil or on the rocks. She is just spreading them everywhere in sheer celebration of life and love. Flowers fall on her from above in harmony with her own flowering, and the waters of emotion swirl playfully beneath the flower on which she sits. You might feel like a garden of flowers right now, showered with blessings from everywhere. Welcome the bees, invite the birds to drink your nectar. Spread your joy around for all to share. Zen wants you living in abundance, living in totality, living intensely, not at the minimum as Christianity wants you, but at the maximum, overflowing. Your life should reach to others. Your blissfulness, your benediction, your ecstasy should not be contained within you like a seed. It should open like a flower and spread its fragrance to all and sundry, and not only to the friends but to the strangers too. This is real compassion. This is real love. Sharing your enlightenment, sharing your dance of the beyond, sharing what you have, sharing the reason that you came to this place. Interesting. This feels like the universe is that's this showering you with gifts and everything you need. Saying, "Did I stutter? You deserve this." Oh, and love, man. You deserve all of this love. Did I stutter? Oof, wow. What a reading already. Love is when Michael proposed. What a cool moment in the office. Love is here. What a beautiful proposal. What a beautiful couple. What a beautiful family. What a beautiful moment. Everything about this scene is beautiful. This is what love is. It's beautiful. Love is what makes it all worth it in the end. All the pain, all the tears, all the struggle, all the darkness, it's also worth it when you find love. Did I stutter? Page of Swords. Okay. Where is this taking us? Luna? Luna is my dog and she's staring at me. But we come to the Page of Swords, which is another court card. This was a Queen of Pentacles. This is the Page of Swords. So, alright, aside from his beautiful explanation that we got for this card, the way I see court cards are the different abilities and stats and abilities that we can use, that we have at our disposal, and at any moment in time for whatever situation that is going on, whenever needed. You can, switch up your stat points and pour some stat points into, defense, pour some stat points into offense. Sometimes we pour some stat points into material stuff and accept all of this wonderful love. Sometimes we put our stat points into emotional stuff, into the heart, into love, sometimes into material stuff, things we can see, our physicality, and sometimes in the mind. Sometimes we can use, it's a tool, it's like a computer that can be used to get whatever you love, whatever you want. So, since this came up when this card popped up, and I didn't say it over here, so this means we want to use the stats and abilities of this Page of Swords. We want to impersonate this Page of Swords energy. Just like in any game, you have your characters that are high in attack. You have the characters that are high in defense, tanks. You have characters that are high in mobility and movement. So let's relax and find the Page of Swords. Interesting. A flowering does take place. It doesn't happen right away. Flowering takes time. That's why I think it's taking me time to find this Page of Swords in this wonderful tarot book. Okay, so the Swords is of the mind. A page is this after the flowering or before the flowering? I don't know. Let's see what this says. Curious, witty, quick thinker, chatty, alert, energetic. This has been sounding like myself right now. The Page of Swords is chatty and inquisitive, filled with nervous energy as she flits from place to place. She's a quick thinker and a great communicator. These are things we could be good at right now, or could be useful. Her mind is fluid and adaptable, and her sharp sense of perception means she is always processing new information. She is honest, though sometimes tactless. Without focus, her mind can run around in circles and go off on tangents. What fresh ideas and curiosities do you find yourself pondering every day? It's probably going to be something you love. Now, it could be the moment to investigate them. Which of your creative or personal interests can you now research, learn from, or plan for? Your infectious excitement and curiosity may spark the interest of others. Where or to whom can your curiosity lead you? Be honest and direct. Perhaps honest to a fault, this page never minces words. She's not the type to spare feelings, but she can be trusted to speak the truth. Now may be a good time to be open. Speak honestly. Yes, I am a big believer in this. I was just watching. I think it was. I don't even remember what it was, but it was like, would you rather lie and to protect our feelings, or would you rather tell the truth? And I used to go back and forth on this. I used to think a lot more honestly and, I don't know, protecting people's feelings. But now it's like the truth is definitely the best. There is no point in lying. It's all about the truth. And this is another reason why I love the show Lucifer on Netflix so much, because of the way they personify Lucifer. And Lucifer on that show is truthful. He wants the truth. He's never gonna lie. And that is another one thing we can learn from him. From that is, I would rather start being just truthful. There's no point in hiding myself and what I love, or this flowering. There's no point in hiding it. The truth is that it happened. The truth is, the truth is better than anything else. Debate. Don't argue. You may find yourself more attracted to heated discussions lately. Engage that part of yourself, but be sure that they don't turn into more nasty disputes. Share your excitement. This page is animated and articulate. If you find new interests, share that excitement with others. Perhaps encourage them to join you. Yeah, so there's something you love here that wants to be shared, it seems. Okay, 10. I don't know how this would clarify the Page of Swords. Is it just maybe a way of thinking? This is nature. So small. We are so small. Look at this card. Surprise. Michael and Dwight are right there. They're so small. Look how small Michael and Dwight are. Sometimes we feel so big, and everything we do feels so big. Yet we are so small. There's so much more than our small little world. Explore it. Go out in nature, look around, and remember how small you are. Feel your surroundings. Feel your small self be a part of such a bigger whole. Just a tiny little being in this massive, beautiful place. And it's the number 10. So I feel like this would make sense in, look at that, focused. That focused, and it's going to make sense to you. Worry. Interesting. Did I stutter? I'm going to give you all you want, all you love, everything you could ever need. Oh, okay. Yeah. We're part of this. So, of course, the universe is in a position to say that. So there's no need to worry. 5 of Pentacles. Yeah, we already have the Queen of Pentacles here taking care of our Pentacles. This is a very cool card. The Thoth Tarot. This is my favorite tarot deck. This one is just so good. And all of these explanations are so good. All of these illustrations are so good. So good. 5 of Discs. Worry. Mercury in Taurus. Despite Mercury's active nature and Taurus's tendency to be a bit sluggish, this is not an overly difficult match. People with this aspect in their natal horoscopes are often very patient, practical, and conservative. However, Gabriel throws a disturbing and stressful monkey wrench into the mechanism of this otherwise stable device. The natural result is worry, the kind of worry that has you asking, Am I being pulled into a predicament I can't get out of? Am I in over my head? Will I be crushed by the blind momentum of this situation? The surface of this card cannot contain the full images of 5 ponderous gear wheels, laid one upon another like the inner workings of a huge and grotesque clock. What appear as 5 discs in the center of the card are actually only the hubs of these massive wheels. The 5 hubs are arranged as an inverse pentagram, each containing one of the 5 Hindu tattva symbols of the elements: red triangle of fire, silver crescent of water, blue circle of air, yellow square of earth, and the black egg of spirit. If we look closely, we see that the black egg of spirit is upon the downward point of the pentagram. It is clear that the 5 of disc is pointing to the more nasty meaning of the reverse pentagram, that of the triumph of matter over spirit. And I'm going to go to chapter 20 to see the general divinatory meanings of this card. I don't always do this, but I feel like doing it this time. For the 5 of Pentacles, which is after the swords. 5 discs. Loss of profession, loss of money, monetary anxiety, loss of money or position, trouble about material things, labor, toil, land, cultivation, building, knowledge, and acuteness of earthly things, poverty, carefulness, kindness, sometimes money regained after severe toil and labor, unimaginative, harsh, stern, determined, obstinate. A lot of big words there at the end. But you are so small, you will be taken care of, is the point. Right? Interesting. Yes. Okay. I like that. It's not that this, it's not that everything you do isn't going to matter. It's what you do with what you do have that's going to matter. And the universe has your back. It is big, so it can turn anything small into something big, like love. Professor Copperfield's Miracle Legumes. Dwight goes from a thumbtack to a telescope. He didn't have a bunch of money. He didn't have a bunch of fancy tools. He didn't even have fancy. That's literally where we were. Interesting. He didn't have fancy or expensive items to sell or trade. He had a thumbtack. Do with what you have, and you will also get your telescope. You might even find yourself some magic beans. That's a face of a winner right there. That's the face of a person that is gonna turn a thumbtack into a telescope. Interesting. A seed into a whole flower. A little U into whole universe. Alright, let's get some. It wants to speak right now. We'll do 2. I think that's good. Let's see. Okay. We're gonna start listening to ourselves now. Number 4. Would an idiot do that? Dwight says, whenever I'm about to do something, I think, would an idiot do that? And if they would, I do not do that thing. Dwight. So the important part is he asked himself if an idiot would do that. He didn't ask other people. He didn't ask Stanley, who's back there. He asked himself. And then he answered himself, and he listened. And he grew. Okay, meditate. Interesting. This guy is also sitting down like that. The flowering of listening, huh? Instead of worrying, this would make me listen. This would make me your mind a little quieter. Being around something so big. Meditate. Sit down somewhere comfortable and But if you're wearing a dress, cross your legs because nobody wants to see that. Meditate in whatever way is comfortable to you. Just remember the goal is to be quiet and listen. Note, I did not say to not think. Be receptive and watch. Watch what you have to say and watch how you react. And you got everything that you need. Pile 3, thank you for being here. And it's all about love. Hello, pile number 4. Number 4. And welcome. Welcome to your reading. I love this card. Before we start, and before I start shuffling some cards, we are going to read The Good Old Days one more time. I wish there was a way to know you're in the good old days before you've actually left them. Take a pause. Look around. Enjoy the moment. Look at everything around you. Take that pause and just take it all in. Enjoy the good old days while you're still in them, because next thing you know, the good old days will be gone. But thanks to Andy, we know the good old days are here, so enjoy every single second of them with everything that you have. I love this show. What a great show. So even though these don't seem like the good old days right now, I promise you, at some point, you are going to look back and say, wow, how cool was that? That roller coaster ride was so much fun. I feel like saying that it's all about creating from all of this negative, creating a positive, creating one thing from another. Ooh. Look at how smooth that was. Smooth. Number 40. Alright, so what I'm doing here is I got a card from each deck that we use, like to use around here, around these parts. And we're just going to clarify each with a card from the Office Oracle deck. Oh. Pile number 4, we got card number 40. So, if you see small things like that, just be on the lookout. Enjoy them. They're fun, interesting. Sorrow. They're fun. Scary things that seem scary are actually fun. The good old days. Interesting. Oh, and I did say, even though these times don't seem like the good old days. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of bad things that happen, but we can create positives from all of these negatives. Okay, alright. Go me. I like where that went. I actually like where that went. Turning the confusion that I was in into something awesome. 9 of clouds. The 9 of the mind. The 9 of swords. sorrow. Turning this sorrow into positive, huh? Turning all of these bad times into good times. All right. Looks like that's recognizing good old days are wherever you are. Wherever you are is home. The image is of Ananda, the cousin and disciple of Gautama Buddha. He was at Buddha's side constantly attending to his every need for 42 years. When Buddha died, the story is told that Ananda was still at his side weeping. The other disciples chastised him from his misunderstanding. Buddha had died absolutely fulfilled. He should be rejoicing. But Ananda said, "You misunderstand. I'm weeping not for him, but for myself, because for all these years I have been constantly at his side, but I have still not attained." Ananda stayed awake for the whole night, meditating deeply and feeling his pain and sorrow. By the morning, it is said he was enlightened. Interesting. He turned all his pain and sorrow into enlightenment, turned his negatives into positive. Times of great sorrow have the potential to be times of great transformation, but in order for transformation to happen, we must go deep to the very roots of our pain and experience it as it is, without blame or self-pity. Yeah, so it's like penguins, right? They're adorable, but they can't do much. There's no ninja penguins, huh? Luna. My dog's looking at me. There's no ninja penguins, right? Penguins kind of just wobble around, having a good time. But other than that, they don't do much because they don't have any predators, So there's no hardships that they can turn into strength. There's no hardships that can refine them into, a certain type of being. And that is why God allows bad things to happen. Because bad things honestly make you stronger. How muscles work is when you tear them apart so that they grow back stronger, and then you tear them apart again and they grow back stronger, and that's how muscles work. So that is sorrow being torn apart so that it can grow back stronger. So if you see bad times, sorrowful times that way, that they are just I don't know, making you stronger somehow. There's something to learn out of them. Or in like any movie, any animated show, there's always a bad guy that is stronger, so all of the good guys have to work harder to get stronger and do cooler things so that they can beat this bad thing. And if that bad thing never existed, then these good guys would never work hard to get better and get stronger and do cool things. So in a way, we have the bad people to thank. Right? What do you think, Luna? She thinks I need to flip. Okay, this appeared in pile 3 too. Interesting. So there is a reason for everything. You are small, and sometimes you can't see the reason. But there are reasons for everything. It is all connected. So small. We are so small. There's Michael and Dwight down there. Look at how small they are. Sometimes we feel so big, and everything we do feels so big. Yet we are so small. There's so much more in our small little world. Explore it. Go out in nature and look around. Remember how small you are. Feel your surroundings. Feel your small self. Be part of such a bigger whole. Just a tiny little being in this massive, beautiful place. Turning negative into positive. Oh, wow. This is the 3 of Swords. This is more pain in the mind again. I want to clarify this right away. Oh. I'm not going to read out of this because pain. That's just literally all it is. Turning this pain into something else that's not pain, whatever you want it to be. Something to learn. At least know something you don't want. Why waste time? Say that word. When fewer do trick. Save time. More success. Kevin. And this is the Three of Swords. This is more pain and sorrow. And we were talking about the good old days. Alright. Art. Okay. Wow. Art is about creating. See, this positive and negative aren't fighting anymore. They are working together now to create something new, something cool, something wonderful, something dope. That will read this one. This is card number 14 of the Major Arcana. This is art. This is literally creating. So how do you get nothing and make something? Creating. How do you just have nothing, you know? And there's something. This is the daughter of the reconcilers, the bringer forth of life. Jupiter rules. Dragon's tail exalted. I don't know what the dragon's tail is, but that's cool. This is path number 25, joining path number 6 to path, or sphere number 6 to sphere number 9. This is this path right here. Pour thine all freely from the vase in thy right hand, and lose no drop. Hath not thy left hand a vase? Transmute all wholly into the image of thy will, bringing each of its token of perfection. Dissolve the pearl in the wine cup, drink, and make manifest the virtue of that pearl. And I don't feel like reading all this because Kevin told me why say that word when fewer do trick. So we are going to go in the back of the book into the divinatory meanings of the cards. And instead of reading the whole definition of art, we're going to read these small divinatory meanings of the card. It says combination of forces is a negative positive thing. Realization, action based on accurate calculation. The way of escape, success after elaborate maneuvers. Yeah, success. And okay, beautiful. Oof. Beautiful. It was hidden too because I put this number right here for some reason. It's number 18. You can barely see it. See what's hidden. But it was there all along, the whole time. Okay. So today is about today. Today is just about having today. It's gonna take a long time and then it's perfect. And no rush. Long story couples. Trust. If you have patience, it means you are still waiting for something that's not happening. So go one step further and let go of that patience. A person with no patience is completely here today. They don't wait for anything as there is nothing to wait for. Today is already here. Everything that is happening is supposed to be happening. There is no rush. Today is just about having today. It took him all night. And this took a while for it to happen. And it was hidden. Today is just about having today. Few word do trick. And we'll just get 2 more cards of advice from the Office Oracle deck. This has been a quick one, but I mean, it has been asked for, and it's pretty straightforward. We are turning these bad times into the good old times. Yes. Okay, that's cool. This is the same energy. This is literally confirming more of what we already know. Guten Prank. It may seem like the universe is pranking you, but do not worry. It is a Guten Prank. It is a good prank. All the sorrow feels like we're being pranked, you know, but we turn it into a Guten Prank. It's a Guten Prank. Alright, and then we got some information about chaos. The Guten Prank, good, bad, sorrow, but it's all about creating it, using what we have, being part of what we are. I'm talking too much. Nelly, I walked right into a job for which I was ill-prepared, ill-suited, and somebody else already had. And I got it. Anything can happen to anyone. It's just random. Take pi, for example. 3.14152965359. If I show you that string of digits, you could immediately recognize it as pi. But if you didn't know what pi was, you would say that those are just a random string of numbers. You wouldn't think that there's an order to it. Now, if I didn't start the sequence at the beginning, if I started at the 100th digit of pi, would you still recognize it as pi? Because I wouldn't. Or would you just think it's a random sequence of numbers? This is what chaos is. It may seem random, but there's an order to it. Pi, no matter how random it seems, will always be pi. Life is pi. So, whatever all these random things that happen to us, they are Guten Pranks, and we turn them into something special. Alright, I think I literally don't have much else to say for this reading. This one was as straightforward as they are, I feel. So I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope to see you next time.